So, 10 people have been injured in a stabbing attack in the UK on the train. The police are saying this is a targeted attack, but they will not say whether this is terrorism or not.
All I have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for good.
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another video. And so today there has been a mass stabbing, so 10 people on the trains in the UK. 2 people have been arrested, but they are refusing to say whether or not this is terror related. Now, a lot of people are already saying that this is very convenient for this to happen when their knife crime is at their worst and they're trying to make changes to it. But let's get into it. This is absolutely bonkers.
Well, listen, of course, you've got the broader knife crime picture, but this looks altogether much more sinister than just, your annual sort of knife crime statistics here. This looks like a targeted attack on that train, because from all of the eyewitness reports that are now coming through about the way in which multiple people were being stabbed in the carriages, it sounds absolutely horrific. This was the LNER train from the Hull, the 18...
Like, it sounds the way that they actually done the targeted attack and just went along like stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. It doesn't sound like, one of those stabbings where someone high on crack or meth or something is going around. It sounds like this was planned and has all the hallmarks of a terrorist attack.
19:35 service down to King's Cross Station in London. It would have arrived shortly after 9:15 this evening, but of course is now stuck on the platform at Huntingdon Station. Now, according to multiple reports now, and this is why we can take it as being pretty accurate, because it's more than just one. It's so many different people that have been speaking to different news outlets. It appears that this stabbing attack began shortly after the train pulled out of the station at Peterborough, and then at that point continued all the way to Huntingdon. Now, of course, as compared to some of the gaps between stations, it's not a huge gap, but it's still a good 20 minutes or so to get you to Huntingdon. So
that's a decent gap. Like, we don't really have those gaps in our train lines here. So, but that's a decent enough amount of time to get that job done.
It seems that this incident was unfolding with people being stabbed, people being running from the carriages, where at least one knife man, maybe more, were in those carriages, running, trying to hide in toilets, trying to get to the safety of another carriage. We've got reports that from one eyewitness who saw a very badly injured man covered in blood coming down the carriageway, saying that he'd been stabbed, and then shortly after collapsing to the ground in the carriage there, and was apparently taken away by paramedics. By that time, it seems the train had reached Huntingdon itself. So I think we've got some more pictures that we'll be able to bring you shortly as well from the Press Association. As soon as we get those cut for you, we'll send them to you. But in the meantime, all we've really had from the emergency services is confirmation of the incident that unfolded. They said shortly before 20 to 8 this evening that they have a very significant response. And of course, you've seen by all those ambulances at the camera just past there, about 20 ambulance vehicles, some of those paramedic units, others the hazardous.
Like, we have a real problem in Australia with knives, and thankfully we've had very little terrorist activity go on in this country, but the UK have got a legit problem going on right now. If you have a look at how often someone is getting some kind of bladed implement put inside their body in some way, shape or form in the UK, it's actually pretty crazy.
Area response teams, the specialist paramedics that respond to these major incidents. And we heard from the East of England Ambulance Service that some 3 air ambulances, 3 helicopters had been sent to the scene as well. One of those images there, the vehicle passing, looked to me like a HEMS, a HeliMed medical team actually arriving in a red land vehicle, as they often do as well. That carries these trauma specialist doctors that are best able to give the best care to someone that's badly injured, in the hope of getting them stabilised before being transferred to hospital. Now, and you're looking now at live images coming to us from the Press Association. That is looking down at the train carriages on Huntingdon Station there, and you can see the torchlight of some of the rail workers there. And I think being illuminated there looks to me to be individuals in green. If that was the case, then they may.
Like, I wonder if they arrested everyone. I wonder if there was only 2 people, and I wonder if anyone managed to get away with the crowd. As you could see back there was a big crowd out the front of that train station. It'd be pretty easy to blend in.
Well be paramedics. I can't say for sure. Obviously, paramedics, as we know very well, will wear green. It's possible that there may be individuals that might be under the train. We don't know at this stage. There are torchlights that are shone down towards.
Oh, they're saying there might be people under the train. Whoa.
The undercarriage of that train stationary at the platform at Huntingdon Station. So worth reiterating to our audience joining us live, and for those, of course, on radio as well, I'll describe the images for you. But we're looking at live images now of this train, the LNER service, the 1835 service from Hull Station to King's Cross Station, never got any further than Huntingdon because of this mass stabbing attack in the carriages of this train. It pulled in an emergency stop at Huntingdon Station, and emergency services, armed police in particular, moved in and dealt with the threat. We are told at this point that 2 people have been arrested. And what we're looking down at the moment, as I say, described for our radio audience here, are a number of individuals. I can see those in orange boiler suits that look very much to me to be track maintenance workers that are down there. Of course, because anytime you're working rail side down on the tracks, it can be a dangerous area. You require those specialist teams there. They will have switched all of the powers, all of the electricity off in that area, as well as we're seeing ambulances now at the scene as well. I'm not sure if they are moving away from the scene or if this is another group of ambulances arriving at the scene.
So this is only pretty fresh. This only happened hours ago in the UK and is still breaking news across the world.
They may be actually leaving the area, because I think the main response to the bulk of the casualties happened some time ago, and those individuals have been taken to area trauma units. I should say, in terms of the reaction, apart from the confirmation that's been coming from British Transport Police, Cambridgeshire Police and the East Area Ambulance Service, we of course have had responses from our most senior politicians, which gives you an indication of just how significant this incident that is unfolding.
Just want to reiterate, absolutely, we have a real problem on our hands with knife as well. I was just saying we don't have the terrorist type problem.
In Cambridgeshire is. The Prime Minister said a little while ago, the appalling incident on a train near Huntingdon is deeply concerning. My thoughts are with all those affected, and my thanks go to the emergency services for their response. Anyone in the area should follow the advice of the police, and of course the advice of the police is to stay away, unless of course you're an eyewitness. Then you're encouraged to contact the police with any information that you might have. Shabana Mahmood, of course, the Home Secretary, has also responded. She said, I'm deeply saddened to hear about the stabbings in Huntingdon. My thoughts go out to all of those affected. 2 suspects have been immediately arrested and taken into custody, she said. I'm receiving regular updates on the investigation, and I urge people to avoid comment and speculation at this early stage. And Robert Jenrick,
They're saying that because obviously already there is a lot of, talk on the ground about terrorist stuff and about how this is very convenient that this has happened right at the time when they've got people to come and try and adjust the knife laws and whatnot.
Justice Secretary has spoken, so as of course Kenny Badenoch and Chris Philp, the Conservative Party leader and the Shadow Home Secretary, but the Shadow Justice Secretary, Robert Jenrick, saying that sickening news about the attack on passengers on the train in Cambridgeshire. I'm praying for all those who have been injured. Thank you to the police and emergency services who are responding tonight.
Indeed.
So, look, just worth reiterating, you're seeing images there of 2 ambulances that are parked up at the moment, and maybe an indication that there may be more in the way of casualties that they are still to receive. I mean, until they get the all clear from the police. And remember,
So there's 10 people that have been seriously injured so far, and you heard that eyewitness accounts saying that, people were collapsing after being stabbed. So this is a very, very serious incident.
You're searching a whole train, and you're searching in the carriages, but you're also searching underneath the carriages because you just don't know, Alex. People will come off, and there are eyewitness reports of people staggering up the platform covered in blood. So it's absolutely possible that someone has left one of the carriages once it's pulled into the station and may have, because of the condition that they're in, they may have wandered off and collapsed somewhere. That's why the searching that is ongoing now is not just going to be confined to the
Oh, so they're trying to say that that's why the officers are looking under the train because somebody who was stabbed might have collapsed.
carriages themselves, but the immediate area underneath and
Wow.
around the train
Just
itself.
wow.
And until that all clear has been given by Cambridgeshire Constabulary to those ambulance service personnel, you'll still have that response. And the images that we're looking at there, those are armed police at the front there, speaking to the man in the orange tabard, who's a member of the train station staff, as you can see just in the sort of
So obviously you can see by the way that they're not stepping on stuff. There's a lot of evidence just inside that door, and that's why they're being very careful. Like, yeah, this is like blown my mind. Another incident on the train, like the UK, poor buggers, really.
sort of the normal sort of train service uniforms that they wear. That was an engineer, I think, coming up behind with a white helmet on as well. So still armed police at the scene, clearly still involved in talking to train staff and maybe searching the site as well. But these live and dramatic images, the first live images coming through this evening of Huntingdon Station in Cambridgeshire, where that LNER service, the 1835 train from Hull to London King's Cross, pulled in abruptly at this station where this mass stabbing attack was taking place in multiple carriages on that train.
Mark White, our GB News Home and Security Editor, thank you for bringing us up to speed on the latest there.
Well, there you go. Like this is massive, and I imagine that this is a story that will continue to grow. I'll continue to keep everybody updated about it. Yes, it's not Australian news, but this is massive news. And as we all know, the UK are our buddies, Bluetooth at UK. And yeah, this is just absolutely brutal, and nobody should be having to deal with this stuff. Well, there you go, guys. The Cambridgeshire stabbing in the UK. So this has only happened 5 or 6 hours ago. 10 people are down. They haven't said whether anyone's lost their life or not yet, but seriously injured. And the 2 people that they are alleging done this have been taken into custody. But once again, they are not letting out one bit of information whether or not this was terrorist related. And yeah, let me know what you think, guys. And to all my legends that watch from the UK, please jump down there in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are hearing on the ground, and we will definitely keep this story going. And this is exactly why you guys want to jump down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. We out.